Hello, we're back. We're watching Wistoria Wand and Sword again. I had a little break, had a week off. Let's see if I remember how to do these. So this is episode 10 of Wistoria Wand and Sword. This one was called Our Dream. This one is continuing the Praxis exam storyline. The kids are trapped in a dungeon, facing a whole bunch of very dangerous enemies, and they're separated. This was a good episode. The first half was kind of lore building and relationship building. Second half was all action. So for a quick recap of the episode, we had a little scene pre-opening credits. It was kind of like a flashback or a dream sequence with Wignall. Gotta be honest, I didn't know what was going on there. But then we go back to the now and the present stage. Wignall was talking more about his past, how he's no talent, he's a laggard in the elf community. I think everyone he knows has ascended. He's the only one kind of there. He's kind of left behind in the academy. We actually find out Lihana is kind of the same. She considers herself left behind. She says that most of the people that have ascended haven't needed the educational requirements. Basically, if you're good enough, you will ascend anyway. So she sees herself and Wignall and Julius as leftovers. They're good. They're a big fish in a small pond, basically. But interestingly, Will finds a bit of common ground between himself and Wignall. Wignall's younger sister actually ascended and became a Magiavanda, and I'm pretty sure she's the Elven Queen as well. So Wignall is trying to ascend so he can see his sister, and Will's got that thing with Elfie as well. He's trying to ascend to meet Elfie. Meanwhile, you've got Scion and Julius still bickering like an old married couple, and the demons are running riot in the base camp. You see Professor Edward do a really cool spell, decapitate a bunch of demons, and also Professor Worknaw arrives in a dragon and picks up Edward and they fly off. Eventually, Will and Wignall actually run into Julius and Scion, who have also just defeated a bunch of enemies. And Colette and Lihana run into the hooded guy and the headless guy. The headless guy is actually referred to as Headless, like as his name, Headless. And he's doing that cool thing again where he's writing words into the sky and they speak the words, or something speaks the words. But when we first see him, he's actually wearing one of the dead professor's heads on his shoulders, like a head hat. And he can speak through the head as well. The hooded guy says the students shouldn't be here, the floor should have been cleared by now, and also says something about destroying the false sky, which is that protective barrier over Regarden. Now, Headless was just about to decapitate Lihana and Colette. He wanted to add their heads to his collection. I don't know where he's putting these heads, because we see him just straight up crush a head as well. Way to ruin your collection, mate. But of course, Will rocks up and saves the day and stops their heads flying off. He's got a good head on his shoulders. The hooded guy says they need to leave. Let's summon Duke. Duke appears in a big teleportation spell, and Duke is the big monster that crushed the ground and sent the students flying into floor 11 in the last episode. And that's where it ends. A couple of notes on the episode itself. We saw the dungeon actually give birth, and it literally does. It's like this very wet, very disgusting scene where these monsters come out of this canal thing from the roof. It's a very organic looking thing. I quickly mentioned before as well, the headless guy is called Headless. Now, did he name himself Headless? Surely he can come up with a better name. But the character itself is really cool. The voice they use to speak the words that he's writing in the air with magic is this really creepy. It's one of those evil, creepy voices when you know the evil person is having a really good time being evil. And something I have to say as well, Scion is really starting to annoy me. Like, he's too angry. He's just too angry at everything. Him and Julius to a degree, but Scion especially. It's like, mate, just get over it. Your lives are in danger. Just pull together. Deal with your stupid angriness when you get out of it. It's starting to annoy me a touch. And another thing that's not related to this episode specifically, it's in all the episodes, is this transition they use between scenes. And it kind of feels like the transition they'd use coming back from an ad break or something. They use these like really cool hand sketch drawings of characters. And it is in Japanese, but it looks almost like a stats sheet. It will have the character's name and a bunch of lines and numbers. It looks like a gaming kind of info card or something like that. I only wish I could read it because it looks very cool. I think it's a nice little touch. So yeah, I did enjoy the episode. It had a nice mix of lore and action, which I like. They really do cram a lot into an episode. I'm liking more and more scenes with the evil couple, the hooded guy and Headless. And I don't know how many episodes are left, but it does feel like it's wrapping the season up. I could be wrong. But yeah, another really good episode. I would give this one a 7.5. It's close to an 8. It's really good. I enjoyed it. I would just put it a rung below the last one because Sion's getting on my tits. But that's it. Looking forward to the next one. Hopefully it'll be here soon.